Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, March 26th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. The winter is over. The long break is over. The long off season is over. Today is my favorite day of the year, opening day for the 2026 MLB regular season. I am so excited. This is my favorite day of the year. We have a lot of good games going on today. So many good pitching matchups. We got to talk about it, but first we got to go backwards to yesterday, which was opening night. This game did not go very well. This was the first game for the Giants, the first game for anybody in MLB this year, and it did not go well. The final score was 7-0. The New York Yankees beat the Giants. Yankees 7 runs on 10 hits and an error. The Giants 0 runs on just 3 hits and an error. We got overpowered hugely in this game. It wasn't very close at all. It was a tough watch. I was there. It was fun in the beginning, all the festivities and stuff, but it was a tough game for the Giants. It's a lot to talk about in this game, so let's get into it. We'll start first with we gotta mention who won. Max Fried was the winning pitcher. 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, no earned runs, no runs in general, 4 strikeouts. Brilliant game from the Yankees lefty. And then Logan Webb was the losing pitcher. 5 innings pitched, gave up 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 9 hits, a walk. He struck out 7. Um, Not a very good start from Logan Webb. I'm not I'm not really sure why it wasn't a very good start. What does it mean? I don't know if it means anything. We'll have to see for his next start. It's gonna be very important, but it was just all you can really say is it wasn't very good. And that's the thing about this game is there's not much you can point to and dissect and say this is what went wrong. It's just this is a very straightforward blowout. The Yankees were the better team in all aspects, and the Giants really couldn't do anything. We still got to talk about it though. So I mean that's all you have to really say for Webb. And there was one interesting thing that I noticed is for the Yankees offensively, they were being very aggressive, and they were swinging on the first or the second or the third pitch in most of their uh, successive at bats, successful at bats rather. And that's a dangerous game to play, especially against Logan Webb, who is a very efficient pitcher. He gets ground balls a lot. But last night, Logan Webb was in strikeout mode. He started the game with 2 strikeouts and looked great in the first inning. And he was in aggressive strikeout mode, and the Yankees countered with their own aggressive swing at the very first pitches mode, and it worked well for the Yankees. And that's a matchup where it's like super aggressive on super aggressive. It's going to be a big collision, and that's what happened. The Yankees ended up being the more dominant force aggressively, and like I said, it's a dangerous game because Logan Webb is just pounding the strike zone, throwing strikes all the time, trying to get ahead in the counts to strike hitters out. And you can either sit back and wait for a good pitch to do something with, or you can try and counter that being aggressive by swinging at those strikes. Logan Webb has nasty stuff, and that's a dangerous game to play considering he can get a ground ball with the best of them. But for the Yankees, it worked very well yesterday. That's a strategy that's not sustainable over a full 162, but in this particular game, it worked very well for the Yankees. And it worked well because when they were swinging at those first pitches, they weren't hitting grounders, they were hitting liners, hard, solid liners, and they were getting single after single after single, and it worked very well for them. The fifth inning was the big one. In the first inning, Webb struck out the first 2 batters and got a fly out, and the Giants came in with a walk, a force out, a single to make it first and third with 1 out, strikeout, ground out, Adonis Lee. Then the Yankees took over, 5 runs in the second inning, single, 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 triple, and it was 5 run inning. Yankees added on 2 more in the fifth inning to make it 7-0, and that's how this game ended. So yes, it was a difficult start for Logan Webb, difficult game for the team in general. But I mean, you got to give props to the Yankee lineup. I mean, Grisham, everybody on the team had a hit except for Aaron Judge, who went 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. But Grisham, Bellinger, Rice, Stanton, Chisholm, Jazz Chisholm, Caballero, McMahon, Wells, all had a hit, all had an RBI or a run. Some had both. Judge was the only player to not have an RBI, a hit, or a run for the Yankees, and he struck out 4 times. So, say what you want there. That was the only positive aspect of the game. But you got to give props to the Yankees because they really brought it. They were the better team in all aspects yesterday, and that's why they won this game. They won this game especially because of their offense, but also because of their pitching. Max Fried was brilliant in this game. He won 19 games last year, led the league in wins, and this year he's also leading the league in wins because he's the only one who has one so far. He's 1-0 with this one, 6 1/3, 2 hits and a walk, no runs, 4 strikeouts. Very efficient, very good. After the first inning, the Giants basically got nothing except for one bloop hit from Ramos. He was in control. The Yankees could let him go even further into the game, but they had the win established. It was opening day, long season, so they just wanted to save his arm. He was very good. The Giants' offense was completely neutralized. And now you gotta know before I mention these stats, Max Fried is one of the best pitchers in the game. I think he's the fourth best left-handed pitcher in the game. He's very good at what he does. He's an elite pitcher who pitched like an elite pitcher yesterday. He was at the top of his game. The Giants lineup was completely dominated. Here's what it looked like: 3 for 31 with just 3 hits and 2 walks. Left 7 men on base. No extra base hits. Just outmatched. Um, we couldn't get anything going, and I guess you can say it's because Max Fried was so good, and that probably is the reason. I'm not overreacting. I mean, last year, if there's just one thing to overreact about, it's that, the lefty struggles continuing. Last year, we could not hit a left-handed pitcher basically ever, and this is one of the best lefties in the game, and we got shut down. I really hope that that lefty thing does not continue, but yes, the offense was terrible. And we really can't overlook how bad we were in this game, but you do have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. I mean, these games are going to happen. We'll get to that, the more broad stuff. But yeah, I'm not hitting the panic button because we sucked yesterday. We did suck, but it's not the end of the world. Hopefully, we can rebound from this, and we will rebound from this. This is a very talented offense. I think they just weren't ready. I just think they weren't ready, and that was kind of what I want to get to next. No, that's a more of a big point. Let's mention the bullpens for both teams, which both did not give up a run. The Yankees brought in Jake Bird and Hedrick and Camilo Doval, who got booed yesterday. I was cheering for him. I was cheering for him. I don't know what everyone else was doing. I mean, it's not like he left. And he was good for us too. I don't think he deserved the boos. I think he should have gotten a nice round of applause. He did not look very good, even though he did not give up a hit or a run. He looked very wild. For the Giants bullpen, though, this was kind of the only positive thing to talk about. JT Brubaker had 2 nice innings, struck out 2. Keaton Wynn struck out Aaron Judge. Um, and he struck out 2 batters, struck out Judge and Bellinger in 1 inning. I like Keaton Wynn. In 2024, I liked him. In 2025, for some reason, I did not like him. I don't know what it was, but I just thought he was not good. This year, my first impression, I like his shoes and I like him because of the shoes. He just looks better. I don't know what it is. That's kind of how I base my decision. This is the one interesting thing I want to talk about is Caleb Killian. And let's go back in time here. 2021, the Giants are the best team in baseball. They have the most wins. They're looking to add at the deadline. So they go out and they trade for Chris Bryant, the third base slash first base slash outfield player for the Cubs, former MVP. Bryant played very well for us in those months, especially in the postseason. And we traded our number 6 and number 10 prospects to the Cubs in exchange for that deal, both of whom did not pan out. I'm just watching the game here. Did Lotus go deep? Lotus hit a home run. Wow. Are the Pirates good? Overreact time? That was interesting. All right, cool. And the number 10 prospect in that deal was Caleb Killian, who did not play well for the Cubs, but he's on our team now. I did not realize this. I didn't know that it was him. I did not know. But now I do know, and that's why I like him now. He pitched 1 inning and struck out a batter in the ninth inning. That worked out very well for us because Chris Bryant has not played a single good game of baseball since the 2021 NLDS. And Caleb Killian is back on the major league team. Now he's on the major league team for us, one of our first round picks. And now he pitched well in yesterday's game. So that's good. That's nice. Now let's look at some more big picture stuff. We'll go we'll make the bigger point last because then we can tie it into the upcoming day. Yesterday, for whatever reason, just felt a little bit off. And here are some of the ways that it felt off because I was at the game, but it was on Netflix and it felt even at the game. I didn't watch the broadcast. I was at the game. It felt very corporate. It didn't really feel like a Giants game. It felt like the All-Star game, but it was being played by the Yankees and the Giants instead of the American League, the National League. That's what it felt like being there. I mean, they had a cable car and taxis on the field. They had like dancers for the starting lineup. They also did not announce everybody in the starting lineup. They didn't announce the bullpen guys and the coaching staff, which I thought was dumb. But hey, it just felt off. It felt there was a weird vibe. It didn't really feel like a baseball game. Like felt like I can't remember who said this. My mom said that some writer said this. It felt like a Netflix show. It didn't feel like a Giants baseball game. And I don't for whatever reason, that's just what it was. You know, I will say they did a fantastic job with the opening ceremonies, the national anthem, the streamers, the fireworks, and the other stuff on there. It was so cool to be there. I had some amazing pictures, but I don't know. It just felt a little bit off. And people watching the broadcast, they had many complaints about it. I mean, they missed the first ABS challenge ever, which was very fun to see in person. And it just felt a little bit off. And I also think that was because it was the first game of the year. It's supposed to be opening day, not opening night. I felt a little bit weird about that as well, and I was trying not to feel that way. I was just excited that we have baseball, but I mean, I don't know if I liked it having opening night. I like when it's opening day. I like being able to say opening day. And it's like that's why it didn't feel like a baseball game. It was because it didn't. It felt like kind of an exhibition almost. Um, and I don't think the Giants were ready because of that. And that's not an excuse, but it just felt off. And that's what I have to say about that. Um, Hopefully, I think Friday is going to feel more like a Giants baseball game because we're going to have the normal broadcast with Creek and Kipe. We're going to have the normal, like typical opening day stuff. The Giants classic Friday home opener. I also don't like how we started the season at home, and that's kind of a crazy thing to say, but like my ideal Giants opening day is we're on the road, probably in like San Diego, and we don't play a home game for another week. That's what we did in 2024. I really liked that. Um, the Giants, and that's like a real thing, by the way. Like it's the Giants have when you win the World Series, then you have to play a Sunday night baseball game or opening night baseball game. Well, opening day on the national TV. Um, so that happened in 11, 13, and 15, the years after we won. Although actually, I in 2015, I remember staying home sick from school to watch the game. And I believe it was a day because Mad Bum came in on a horse with the flag. That was hilarious, by the way. Mad Bum literally rode into the stadium on a horse with the World Series banner, which is hilarious. I believe that was yeah, 'cause I was in second grade, so that was 2015. Um, And then the other time in my lifetime that I can remember was because of the lockout, and it canceled the first 3 games of the year. So we just started against Miami at home. So that those were involuntary, and this was the second time in this century that the Giants voluntarily started opening day. Well, okay, 2000. I forgot about 2000. Like in like 2 decades, in like the last 2 decades, this is the like second time the Giants intentionally started at home, opened at home, which is kind of like an old man thing to say, but yeah, I like it that way. And then here's the other thing: do not overreact about this. Yes, we got walloped. It was a bad game in every aspect. Nobody really pitched well. Nobody really played well except for Wynn, Brubaker, and Killian. Everybody else had a bad game. But it is a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm about to throw a butt ton of cliches at you, but it's the truth. It is a very, very long season. This is game one of 162. There are 161 games left in this year. It is far from over. Just because we had a terrible game in the first one doesn't mean the rest of the season is going to be like that. And everyone's going to have bad games. It's going to happen. This is a bad game. If this happened in May or June or July, we'd be like, it was a bad game. If this happened in August and September, a little bit worse because we're probably fighting for a postseason spot, hopefully. But because it happened on opening night doesn't mean we should be overreacting like crazy. And yes, you want to start the year out right. You want to start it out on a good note. This was a bad, bad note to start the year out on. Do not overreact. Please don't overreact. It's a very long season. This is just one bad game. Let me tell you something. Um, Winningest team in baseball history. I want to make sure I get the stat right. It was the Mariners. Is it 118? 116. 2001 Mariners. Let me see it. Okay. The winningest team in baseball history. Or that's not true. The best season in baseball history was by the 2001 Seattle Mariners, and they went 116 and 46. They won the most games in a single season with 116. They lost 46 games. If a basketball team or a hockey team loses 46 games, they miss the playoffs. If a football team loses 46 games, you're the Cleveland Browns. If a baseball team loses 46 games, they're the best team record wise, single season, all time. There are 161 games left. If the Giants lose 72 games, they will make the playoffs. That means there are 71 losses left from tomorrow until September 27th this year, I think. Do not overreact. It is such a long season. And let me give you some examples just off the top of my head of teams who lost on opening day. The teams who lost on opening day. Last year, the Toronto Blue Jays got demolished on opening day by the Orioles. You can ask Noah this. He knows. He was watching it. They got absolutely hammered by the Orioles on opening day. They were 2 outs away from winning the World Series. In 2021, this is another example, the Giants blew a 6-run lead in the eighth inning and lost on opening day. They won 107 games, which was the most in the league and the most in franchise history. Last year, this is another example with the Yankees involved. The Brewers lost on opening day. Either the next day or the day after that, they came out and gave up 9 home runs in a single game to the Yankees. They won the most games in baseball last year. Just because you lose opening day and just because you lose it in a bad fashion does not mean the season is over, does not mean everything is a complete failure. It does not mean that we suck. It means we had a bad game. Yes, it was a bad time to have a bad game on the international stage, but it is a very, very long season. There's plenty of baseball left to be played. We are totally, totally fine. And I am very much looking forward to Friday to get Robbie Ray on the bump and to get another chance at this. I think we're going to be ready on Friday, and I can't wait for it. So, it is a very long season, but opening day is a very, very, very good day. Here are some of the games we have going on. We have on national TV on NBC, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates going up against the New York Mets. This is Freddie Peralta's Mets debut, Bo Bichette, Mets debut, Jorge Polanco, Luis Robert, Marcus Semien, Mets debut. For the Pirates, you got Paul Skeens on the bump. You have Brandon Lau, Marcelo Zuna, Ryan O'Hearn, all of their Pirates debuts. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. People are really high on the Pirates for some reason. People are really high on the Mets because they've also made some big additions. The Mets are very good. The Pirates have a very good pitching staff. We'll give them that. And Skeens Peralta is probably the best opening day pitching matchup we're going to get today. This is the second best and the fifth best pitcher in my book in baseball going up against each other. This should be a fantastic one. Here's some of the other games going on. Let's do some predictions. I got the Mets in this one. I like the offense, even though Paul Skeens is very good. I think it's gonna be a low scoring one. Taking the Mets. Got the White Sox and the Brewers. Jacob Missorowski's first opening day start. I got the Brewers in this one. Cubs, Nats, Bregman's debut. I got the Cubs in this one. Matthew Boyd versus Cade Cavalli. Twins, Orioles. We got Joe Ryan and Trevor Rogers. This is Pete Alonso and Taylor Ward's Oriole debut. I'm taking the O's, even though I like Joe Ryan a lot. I'm taking the O's. We got Tigers, Padres. Tarek Skubal. Could this be his last year with the Tigers? Whatever it is, it'll start. It'll start at 110. Padres, Tigers, Skubal, Pavetta. I'm taking Skubal and the Tigers. We got the Angels and the Astros. Soriano versus Hunter Brown. Jordan back in the lineup, back healthy. That's exciting. I'm taking the Astros in this one, taking the home team. We got the Red Sox and we got the Reds. Two lefties, two all-star lefties going up against each other. We got Crochet, we got Abbott. I'm taking the Red Sox. Wilson Contreras will make his debut here in this one. Eugenio Suarez back on the Reds. I'm taking the Red Sox, though. We got the Rays and the Cardinals. We got Rasmussen versus Liberator. JJ Weatherholt, he's making his debut. Oh, also worth mentioning in the Tigers game, Kevin McGonigal, see the lineup? Kevin McGonigal, the number 2 prospect in baseball, will make his major league debut today. And then Weatherholt will hit first for the Cardinals, making his MLB debut. We have the Rangers. By the way, I'm taking the Rays and Rasmussen. We got the Rangers and the Phillies. These two teams have met on opening day before, and it was a very, very entertaining game. Christopher Sanchez, Nathan Eovaldi. Who's making his debut? It's Justin Crawford. Justin Crawford makes his MLB debut today. And Andrew McCutcheon's on the Rangers. Good for him. This is a tough one. I'm gonna take the Phillies. They're at home. We got the Dodgers will be putting out their back-to-back World Series. They're going to be celebrating their World Series. They're going to be getting their rings, ring night for the Dodgers. Against the rival D-backs, Zach Gallen versus Yamamoto. I think Gallen's going to have a much better year than last year. Mets just scored. I'm taking the Dodgers. It's Yamamoto versus Gallen. It's going to be super hype there. And then Cleveland, Seattle. I think this is like the third time that I can, off the top of my head, it feels like these two teams always play against each other on opening day. I have vivid memories of 23 and 24 and now 26 of these teams playing against each other on opening day. Is that crazy? That's wild. We got Tanner Bybee for the Guardians. We got the Logan Gilbert for the Mariners. I'm taking the Mariners in this one. I think the Mariners have a fantastic year. That's all that's going on today. We got Skeens, Peralta. We got Skubal versus Pavetta. We got Crochet, Abbott. These are some great pitching matchups. Rogers, Ryan, Eovaldi, Sanchez, Gallen, Yamamoto, Bybee, and Gilbert. Some fantastic games today. I think the Pirates and Mets is a must-watch game, and then the Dodgers and Diamondbacks will also be on national TV. What fun we have today. I really can't wait for it. Opening day, the best day of the year. I got Easter 3, I got Christmas 2, I got opening day 1. Let's go. I'm so excited. Let's go to other sports. Anything NFL-wise? Nothing. NBA. The Warriors won yesterday in a very close game against the Brooklyn Nets, 109-106. Uh, Look, the Warriors are kind of hard to talk about. We played a much better game. We still have like nobody, but like, hey, it's okay. We won this one. Um, any other good games? The Wolves scored 50, I think like 15 straight to win against the Rockets in overtime. Celtics beat the Thunder. Hawks beat the Pistons in overtime. That's what happened. Nothing really crazy going on today. Hockey wise, oh boy, what a big day. Yesterday, the Maple Leafs beat the Rangers late, and the Bruins skated off the Sabres in OT. Um, Big games today. My voice is kind of going. Is that crazy? Oh, college basketball. Oh, March Madness is today. Oh boy. We'll stay on hockey. Sharks Blues. The Sharks have lost 5 games in a row. They are currently 7 points back of the final wildcard spot in the West. If they're going to make the playoffs, they need to win basically every single game from here on out. Got to get this one against St. Louis. Other big games around the league, some pretty big ones in the East. Blue Jackets Canadians, that's a big one. Penguins Senators, that's a big one. Kraken Lightning, that's a big one. Wild Panthers, that's a big one. Stars Islanders, that's a big one. Blackhawks Flyers, Flyers have kind of worked their way back into it, um, but also at the same time they haven't. Oh well. Devils Predators, that's a big game. Both of those teams. Well, the Devils aren't. That's actually not the biggest game, but for the West, it's a big game. Avs, Jets, Caps, Mammoth, Ducks, Flames, Oilers, Golden Knights. These teams, I think they play like all. It feels like they play all the time. And then the Kings and the Canucks, some big games. Got to get this one for the Sharks. College basketball, Sweet 16 starts today. I should have started going with this one next. After baseball, Texas, Purdue, 2 versus 11. We got Iowa and Nebraska, 4-9 or 9-4. We got Arkansas, Arizona, 4-1. This is a pretty big game. A lot of people think Arkansas can make a deep run, and we got Illinois, Houston. That's 3-2. I don't know anything about these teams. I can't remember who I even picked, but I think I picked Iowa. I don't have Arizona winning it. I think Illinois. I think I picked Illinois here. And then I think I picked Purdue. So that's what's going on there. I want to go watch some baseball, so we're going to wrap this up right here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's opening day. It's a long season. Don't overreact. We got the Giants coming up tomorrow, but we got so many good games today. I can't wait to go watch some. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.